and Kenny here to say, pop culture fun in every way. Music, TV, movies, oh so bright. Join us for a blast tonight. Sister and brother rocking the flow, sharing all the things you need to know. Kathy and Kenny always in the mix. Pop culture fun fix to fix. Pop culture kids podcast crew, tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kenny make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone. For everyone, I brought some for everyone. Pop culture kids podcast crew, tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kenny make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone.
It's Saturday night.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture.
With Kathy and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. It is Sunday night. It is time once again for Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture as we come to you every week from the North and the South. Me from North Carolina, Kenny from South Jersey. What is up, my brother?
Nothing much, my sister. What is up with you?
It has been a busy week. The show I am performing in for the Center Stage Alliance, opened up this weekend. So we had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday matinee shows. One more weekend to catch it if you are in the Statesville area. Good evening, cousin Lisa.
Lisa.
And
Lisa.
Yeah. So that is the extent of what's going on. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. I'm just hanging, chilling. Scooby Life, how you doing? Next Saturday night, I will be in Matawan, New Jersey at, I forgot the name of the place, but I'm going to be a feature at an open mic in Matawan, New Jersey. So I'm going to be there, and this week I got nothing. And then next week we're going to do a show. Then I'm going to Vegas, and then I'm taking my computer with me so we could do the show from Vegas.
Ooh. Oh wait. So she is saying, Lisa's saying, wow, you have a strong echo. I told you needed to either put on headphones or use the mic.
I don't have headphones. I don't have it with me either.
And not the computer mic. Let me see if I hit the noise cancellation with that. Putting that echo cancellation helps any. So can he say something so we can see if your echo is still that strong?
Something.
No, something a little more.
Do a little something.
Oh no singing. God, no singing. So I don't know how we cure that echo problem, because I was telling Kenny, like, usually I will take our show and try to use Opus clips or something to hey Yolanda, Ravens talk.
Next week.
And I don't know whether the Ravens won or lost. So, because I didn't see your earlier segment, but I know that you go live at 7 tonight.
The Eagles want to lose.
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, with this play going on, I'm so out of touch with everything in the real world. Because I think actually there's an election in 2 days. Um, but even in doing this play, I still was able to vote early. So,
Yes,
so she said
yes,
it
me
is
too.
better.
Me too.
Okay, so I put on that echo cancellation, so hopefully um, the echo isn't as strong. Now, I don't know what to do with my brother. I mean, I gave him my old Rodecaster. He doesn't use that.
I'm
I
gonna look.
bought him
I'm
a
gonna set
microphone.
everything next week.
He doesn't use
I'm
that.
gonna have okay. Next week, I'm gonna set everything up because the next week's topic is gonna be actors who turn directors.
Oh,
So
actors turn directors. Like,
actors turn directors is next week's category, and I will have everything set up the right way. I promise.
well, wait, aren't you going to Vegas? So you won't have everything set
No,
up.
no, that's the week after next.
Okay, Vegas is the week after next, but you are
And when I
going.
go to Vegas, I can take my headphones with me.
Okay, so you're going to broadcast from Vegas.
I'm going to broadcast from Vegas.
Nice, sweet, sweet. All right. Well, the way the show works, we do a little bit of pop culture news. After the news, we dive into our topic. And our topic this week, Kenny, tell them about this week's topic and how you came up with this list.
Our topic, our topic this week is the best bands. Now, this list was very hard, and we only have an hour. And I came up with this list from my own personal experiences. So not every band is going to be on here. Now, when I say band, I'm talking about people who play instruments. So groups like Boys the Men and Backstreet Boys, that wouldn't count in this at all. You know, Destiny's Child would not count. Now, if Destiny's Child was Josie and the Pussycats and playing instruments, then they'd be on it, but they're not. And neither is Josie and the Pussycats. So,
Now,
um,
I mean, when we get, we'll do pop culture news first, but when we get to the list, I have questions. I have questions. I
okay,
have issues. I
okay.
didn't know whether the list was in order. And
No, it's not in order. It's
okay,
not in any order. No specific
because
order.
I was like, well, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. How are they higher than them? And what the,
No,
what?
no specific order for this
Oh,
list. No
okay,
specific
all right,
order.
all right. Because when you folks get a load of this list, and I mean, I agree with most of it, and I'm trying to think, because some people might have been left off. Again, we got what 60 minutes, and even but after we do the pop culture news, we don't even have that. So let's get to pop culture news. You know what? I keep promising to have like a sound effect for the news, and I have not
Yeah.
done that. So
Next week. Next week. The play's over, right? Next week.
the play is not over next week. Next week we have three more shows.
Okay. All right. Well, the week after next.
Week after next, we'll probably have a pickup
We
line
can,
show. Or
we can a minute. We can do it this week. Next week, you know. But let's get into this. I put something in just a minute ago. I don't know if you saw it,
I
but
did
I'm
not.
going to talk about it.
Okay, so in pop,
Um,
what's going on?
Daily Mail, and I saw this earlier this week, and I forgot to put this on there. The Daily Mail reports that Matt LeBlanc
Oh, so you're
has
starting from the
quietly.
back.
Yeah, I want to get that first because that was, you know, I don't know. I'm so used to starting, you know. Anyway, Matt LeBlanc has quietly stepped away from acting since Matthew Perry's death. He is like trying to figure himself out and reevaluate himself because, you know, him and Matthew Perry, like the characters in the show, were very close. And, you know, he's doing a Jack Nicholson, stepping back from acting for a minute and just kind of like,
Now, is that a Gen Z or Gen Alpha thing? They talk about that quiet quitting, where people don't really,
I've never heard of
quit.
quiet quitting.
They just kind of.
I've never heard of quiet quitting.
Oh, you've never heard that phrase where they just
I've
kind of
never heard the
stop
phrase
showing
quiet
up.
quitting, but he's quietly stepping away. So hey,
All
I
right,
get it. You know,
all right. And but again, and I don't mean to sound harsh, and I don't mean to be ugly, but post
of course.
Friends was Matt LeBlanc. I mean, killing it. I mean, really, was he getting any roles? I'm
Hey,
just saying.
you know what? You just
I mean, he didn't even
okay.
make the
Never mind.
Lifetime movie. Kind of. I'm just saying.
Okay, you know what? You just get a heart, Kathy. Get a heart. Get a heart.
I'm just a cold, heartless bit. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. What else you got in
Just
pop
a moment
culture news?
bottom. Days of Our Lives renewed for year 61 on Peacock. Days of Our Lives has been on longer than I've been born. 60 years.
Wow. Wait,
Not longer than you've
I'm as
been born, but
old.
longer than I've been born.
I'm as old as Days of Our Lives.
Those days of our lives are just about the same age, and
But now
they're
here's
going out
my
there for 60
question.
years.
Now, so it's on Peacock, so it doesn't come on NBC anymore in the daytime,
No.
and I think that's a damn shame. I miss the soap opera.
Well, they got rid of a
Like
lot of the
Is General
sitcoms,
Hospital
and I
gone
mean,
too?
they got rid of a lot of soap operas and put on talk shows.
I know. There's just too much
I don't
reality.
like it.
Or reality.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like,
like it. I loved having all the sitcoms, and then there was a channel that would show the sitcoms at night over again. It was great.
yeah.
No more.
It's like it's like coming home and watching on TV the people you work with. Like I get enough reality at work. I work at a middle school. My God, I get enough reality at work. I don't need it in my TV. I'm so over it. I blame the real world, but I'm just done. I'm done. I'm tired. It's exhausting. It's as bad as this election. I don't know. I'm just going to be all out of sorts, and it's not even a full moon, so I apologize.
Next on our list,
I'm sorry. I'm just in a funky way. I can't help it.
after a long trial, rapper Young Thug gets 15 years probation. He was
Okay.
arrested in
Can I ask a
2002
question?
and pleaded guilty. He had a whole bunch of charges. He's been in jail since 2022, rather, not 2002, 2022. And then he finally pleaded guilty, and they gave him 15 years probation and time served, I guess.
Who's Young Thug?
He's he's a famous rapper.
N- Can you name one song? I'm just
I
asking.
can't.
Huh?
I can't. I
Okay.
can't. But I'm not in with that
Somebody
old.
help me, because I'm like, who is he? And why do we care? I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna let you do the news from now on. How's that? Okay. Damn. Every time I come up with a story.
I know.
Okay, let me maybe this will
If
interest you.
I do
Maybe
the
this last
news,
will.
if I do the news, it'll be depressing, because then I would spend 20 minutes talking about Terry Garr, who I thought was amazing, who passed away this week.
Yes, she was
So maybe I
amazing.
shouldn't do
Terry
it.
Garr was amazing. Rest in peace. You know what I mean? Should do the news.
Okay.
Okay, so last on our list we have Marvel released TV schedule for 2025, which includes like everybody's been waiting for this, Daredevil Born Again. We're taking the actors from the Netflix Marvel show and you're bringing them to the Marvel universe on Disney Plus.
Okay. So will
Um,
we have a Ben
Wonder
Affleck
Man.
appearance or no?
No, 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 no,
Well, with the
no.
multiverses and
Hush,
everything else.
hush, look, I love Ben Affleck as Batman. I think Ben Affleck would be perfect Batman, and letting him go from being Batman was a big mistake. But you know, um, it's just Charlie Cox playing Daredevil, and he does a great job at it. So it's going to be great.
What about
Wonder Man, which is a
Gardner
live
making
show about the super.
what
Huh?
about Jennifer Gardner making a guest appearance as Elektra?
No, these guys, no, 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 no. Stop it.
I just want the worlds to collide.
Jennifer Gardner was in Deadpool and Wolverine, and that's the last you'll see her in the electricity. Okay,
All right.
they all died in that movie. It's okay.
Well,
Wonder Man,
what?
live action,
Hmm.
a cartoon, Eye of Wakanda, a live action Ironheart. Last time we saw Ironheart was in the last Wakanda movie. And What If movies and Marvel Zombies, and they're both cartoons
Okay.
series. But these are all series for um, Netflix TV, not movies, series.
And this is a part of the new Marvel television like
Yep.
studios. Now, if we can talk Marvel television series, because I watched our friend Hey Archer on a nerd affiliated on Thursday nights, and that's on YouTube. And he was talking about Agatha all along. and
which
he
is
was
awesome.
he was not favorable of it at all. I think
I loved it. I seen the whole thing and I loved Agatha all along.
he gave
Loved it.
it a 1 out of 5. So I was like, damn.
What?
But
We
he
gotta talk. We gotta talk.
but he said
I
the
gotta talk to him.
finale was much better. Was maybe a 2.53 out of 5. But I love Catherine Hahn, and I think she is so hysterical.
She's great.
Have you ever seen We Are the Millers? She's in that. She's in another movie I really like, A Lot Like Love. She's just very funny, and usually is playing like
Yes.
the supporting character or the second string character. But here she's a chance to be the lead. So I actually the first episode was a little slow. I'm on episode 2, so I'm hoping it gets better.
It
But
picks up now. I've heard the same thing.
mhm.
George says the same thing to me, and I told him watch the rest of it. It picks up. It gets much better. There's some mystery to it, and the ending doesn't come out the way you think it will.
Okay. Cause and again, I think because we've all been through WandaVision, so we know what that is. So and I get some of the ties and the references to WandaVision, but this is not that, but I'm not sure what it is yet, if that makes any sense.
I want to be honest with you about Marvel movies and the fan base.
Mhm.
The fan base of Marvel in any superhero movie, the fan base is going to be males,
Mhm.
predominantly males. There's going to be women, but it's
Right?
predominantly males. Some of the fan base is going to be white males, and because it's predominantly males, anything that with a female lead, anything that deals with, you know, homosexuality in any kind of way, usually the superhero fans, Marvel and DC, don't like. They don't like anything with a female lead. They don't like anything with a lead of color. They don't like anything with a lead of sexual or different sexual orientation. That's even if it's good. Everybody thought She-Hulk sucked, and She-Hulk was a good TV show for me. I loved it.
Mm.
Nobody liked Birds of Prey. I loved Birds of Prey. It was great
So
because I
wait
know the
a minute.
characters and I'm following the characters.
I was like, can I just recap just to help me understand? So you're saying that uh the majority of comic book nerds are misogynistic, racist,
Yes, I'm saying
homophobe?
it. I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
I,
Misogynistic and homophobic. I'm saying that. I'm
misogynistic
putting it
and
out there.
homophobic. It almost
Yeah.
sounds racist because they don't like any people of color. Well, unless it's green. But
The Miss Marvel series
uh-huh.
got paid. Every series of where somebody's a lead of color or a female usually gets panned. Now some of them are really bad, like Wonder Woman 1984, horrible.
Oh,
It
that was
needed to get panned.
yeah.
But other like the Marvels got panned and it was decent. There was some holes in it, but it was decent.
I did
Um,
not watch the
Echo
Marvels.
got panned, but Echo was horrible.
What was horrible?
Echo. It got panned, but it was horrible.
Okay. I mean, it's okay to have a female lead, a multiracial BIPOC lead, but or even a gender fluid lead, but you still have to have a good story. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You still have to
Yeah.
you still have to tell a good story because
But some of these guys, because of their leads, are not given a chance to even check the story out. Now they're not giving the story itself a chance, and
uh,
that's a problem.
all right.
Because by the first episode, they're already, oh, this is horrible. Before a movie comes out, oh, that's bad casting. You haven't even seen it, man.
Give it a chance. Give it
Give
a
it a
chance.
chance.
All right. So again, we're looking for all these new releases on. I'm looking at my notes. All these new releases for Marvel, Wonder Man, and actually, if you watched Agatha all along, I think they previewed some of them as well, like before the actual episodes come on. I There's nothing here that really struck me. Maybe Wonder Man looked a little interesting, so I might give that a watch. But
I'm here for all of it.
I'll defer to you. You have to. Tell me what's worth
I'm
watching.
here. I'm here for watch. I might. The only one I might not watch is Marvel Zombies.
Okay. Because, see, here's the thing, do they make an effort to have the non comic book nerd get on board? Because to me, if you
Yeah,
want a
they do.
successful TV show, you can't just appeal to the fanboys who are going to know every Easter egg. You also have to tell a story so us non fanboy, non comic book reading, but nerd loving geeks can
Yeah.
still follow along.
And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm saying yes, but it's
Mhm.
hard for me to say because I am a nerd fanboy. I
Okay,
do know all the source material, so it's hard for me to say what somebody who's not like me is going to feel about this. So
I hear you. I hear you.
I guess I'm
All
neutral.
right. So, as we dig in tonight's episode, we are going to be talking about the best bands. Now, I know everybody has their favorite band, and it's kind of funny that we're talking about bands because I've this week I've been taking a deep dive because I have all this time backstage when I'm not doing anything, and I know she's not a band, but she's one of my favorite artists, Tina Marie. So I've been just like scouring YouTube, finding Tina Marie videos and enjoying that. But when we say band, we're talking about people playing instruments, so not just singers or groups. Because like the Pointer Sisters, dynamic group, but they're not a band. They weren't all playing their instruments. Now, Kenny, you did preface this by saying this list was not in order. Because when I was looking at the list, I'm like, ooh, what was he thinking? And again, for our pop culture kids in the comments, let us know your favorite band. So again, we're kind of taking a riff off of the musicians. Your favorite band and why. So if you're watching the replay, please comment with your favorite band and why. And it might just be for a great song they had. It might be for their presence. It might be for what they did. Because there are some bands, there are only three members. Some of those trios were able to make some amazing music with just like a drum, a bass, and a lead guitar. So again, let us know what your favorite band is in the comments. And for some reason, I'm not seeing any comments, so I don't know if I got a
I'm
glitch
serious.
on.
Last time I saw was Lisa, saying it
Okay,
sounds better.
it sounds better.
So we're going to start with a heavy metal band, and one of the most prominent heavy metal bands that I could think to put on this list. Oh, you started with that. You didn't get my last one, my heavy metal band I put on there.
Oh, okay. See, and here we go.
I'm sorry.
You have you
I'm
you
sorry.
You switch the list. I get a list. I ask for a list. I'm like, send me a list. Send me a list. You send me a list, and then you add all this stuff. Oh, you know what? I'm out of paper, so I don't
All
have.
right.
Okay, yeah, I do see where you added a name to the list.
So Metallica is what I'm adding to the list on the end. This is a heavy metal band that was formed in 1981 in Los Angeles. And it's one of those bands that kind of personifies heavy metal. And it's Metallica, and that's why. Now, some of these bands made lists for specific reasons. Not all these bands are my favorite bands, but I put them down on here because there's specific reasons, and that's why I'm putting them in there. Like the next one specifically is the Funk Brothers. Now the Funk Brothers, a lot of people, not a lot of people have heard of the Funk Brothers, and only people who's really into music know. The Funk Brothers was formed by Barry Gordy, and these were jazz musicians who worked jazz. They weren't making a lot of money in the '60s and whatnot. Barry Gordy came in and said, "Hey, why don't you come and do pop music for me? Do all the jazz you want to, but I will pay you to come play pop music." And the Funk Brothers, a
Now,
couple of jazz musicians, and
did they release any?
different jazz musicians.
Did they release any albums as the Funk Brothers?
Has the Funk Brothers?
Yeah.
Um, I don't think. I think they might have because I know they toured as the Funk Brothers.
Okay. So they toured. Now, weren't they the?
I don't know if they released any albums as.
Weren't they the subject of the documentary Standing in the Shadows?
Yes, Standing in the Shadows.
The Motown.
They were yeah, and I have that. I have that video, and I had the poster, and I donated my poster that I had to um to the club that I host at a lot, Miss Silly's Blues, because they have an old feel to it. And I just gave that jazz poster there. But one of the members that I remember hearing stories about, and that I was trying to get into, and I heard a lot of his riffs because he's a bass player, like I'm trying to be, is James Jamerson, who's probably known as one of the best bass players ever. Funk Brothers was formed in 1959 for Motown, and they were active till 1972. A lot of them are old, passed away. I think there might be still some people performing as the Funk Brothers, but probably not all the originals.
Okay.
So,
And
that's
yeah,
pretty much that.
this picture might just have been one of the iterations of the Funk Brothers. And in the documentary, I think they included a lot more people. It seems like they had up to like 8 or 9 different people who they, had pulled into that under that banner of the Funk Brothers that made all those great Motown sounds. And the
So
next
next,
on the
I
list,
wanted to go back. I want to take it back.
yeah.
And I wanted to do a big band jazz thing because those are bands, and that's where a lot of the sounds that we get now, you know, come out from these big bands in the day, especially the horn sounds that we get, from bands like Blood, Sweat, and Tears and Ohio Players and everything,
Oh,
But I went with the Count Basie. There's a lot of bands I could have went with. I went with the Count Basie Orchestra because it's well known, and Count Basie was known for doing a lot of collaborations with a lot of different artists. Right there, I think that's at the Waters right there with them. I know he does some great songs with Joe Williams, Frank Sinatra. They that band, Count Basie Count Basie and his band made an appearance in the movie Blazing Saddles.
oh wait, Count Basie was in Blazing Saddles. Wasn't he
Yeah,
in one of the what was it? A Song Is Born?
no,
No, he wasn't in
Basie
that.
was not in that.
Okay.
No, Basie was not in that one.
Or
But
Nir-
at one point, the two heroes, Gene Wilder and Cleavon Little, were riding through, and there was like music accompanying them, and they rode past Count Basie with the music, and Cleavon Little and Count Basie gave a high five or a slap five or something like that. So next we have um, one of the icons of grunge, and that would be Nirvana.
ah, Nirvana. Well, that first
Nirvana.
I'm sorry, is just classic. Nevermind. And it actually reminded me of like a trend that kind of happened. Oh, sorry, I put it on you, not me. A trend that kind of happened in the 80s. And stay with me on this, Kenny. Hold on. Let me let this breathe. There were a lot of folks who named their song albums not after a specific song, but after a lyric in one of their songs, a signature song. Case in point, um, Smooth Operator. Well, no, actually, the song was called Smooth Operator. But no, I'm sorry. The album was called Diamond Life, and that was a line from Smooth Operator. Um, never, Never Mind was, I think, a lyric from one of the, I can't think of the song now by Nirvana. And Culture Club also had, um, what was their first album called?
I can't remember. I know what you're
Can't
talking.
remember, but it wasn't the song, it was a line from the song, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
it was from Time, the Clock of the Heart, but gosh, why can't I think of the song? Ugh,
Well,
being 60s makes
um,
I can't, my memory doesn't work like it does. But Nirvana is awesome, and um just I that would be definitely one of my favorites on this list, on this band
they were
list.
formed in 1987. Lead guitarist Kurt Cobain, bassist Chris Novoselic, and the drummer first was Chad Channing. Before in 1990, they recruited Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl is awesome.
So, next we have one of my favorite bands, one of my many favorite bands, but Parliament Funkadelic. Not just knee deep. She was only not
Just
just
totally.
anyway.
When she
She
did.
was only knee deep when she did the freak with me.
For some reason, in seventh grade, I was obsessed with Parliament Funkadelic. I played
Really.
um, Inside Out. I am sore nosed, devoid of funk. I don't
What is
know.
your favorite Parliament Funkadelic song?
I don't know why I was obsessed with that. I don't know whether it was. I know Flashlight was a big hit, but I would listen to that whole album. I don't know what was wrong with me back then.
What is your favorite Parliament song?
Um, well, I'm thinking Flashlight because that's all I can remember right now. But again, I'm old. I can't remember.
Okay. My
So
favorite is Uncle Jam.
Uncle Jam. I don't know that
Uncle Jam wants you to funk with him.
one. La da. You know, I'm like I don't remember that song, but I'm just going la da dee. Okay,
That
anyway.
is that's the word. That's the lyric. La da dee da dee da dee dee. Uncle
But
Jam
I
wants you. Funk to the left, right, funk to the
and you
left.
know what? I think and maybe this was something of the late 70s, early 80s, but it seems like that album told like a little story. Like you were on this little
Yeah.
journey with
Well, the
I
Sano's one
uh,
did. The Sano's
sorry,
album did.
what?
That album definitely. The Sano's album definitely told a story.
Oh yeah, it was like it was I am
Sano's,
a nose devoid of funk. Like you were following on this little journey, and I was there for it. And again, one of the things that made it so great is that you had this album with pictures and all this visual to take in as well as
liner
liner
notes.
things to read. So you don't get that when you stream. I'm just saying. Although they used to stream some lyrics and information, but I need the visual. I do need the visual. So I hear you. Yeah, Parliament
Next, we have
Funkadelic.
another
I can
big
go with that
great
one.
band. Next, we have another big band. Sly and the Family Stone. Um, If You Want Me to Stay is my favorite Sly and the Family Stone song. Sly and the Family Stone was band was formed in San Francisco, California in 1966, the year I was born. That's why I probably love them so much. And they were active until 1983. And from Sly and the Family Stone, they had the bass player Larry
Larry
Graham,
Graham,
who
Graham
became a famous
Central
bass player
Station,
in Graham.
baby.
Yes, and wound up playing with Prince later on. Before Prince passed away, Larry Graham and Prince did a lot of collaborations together. But it was made up with Freddie Stone, Rose Stone, his sister, was on the keyboards. Cynthia Robinson on trumpet, drummer Greg Erico, saxophonist Jerry Martini, bassist Larry Graham. And the thing about Graham Central Station, and we're going to talk about this in the next group coming up. This is a group of men and women, black and white. It was a total multicultural group.
You mean Sly and the Family Stone?
And Family Stone.
You
It
said
was a
Graham.
very multicultural. Huh?
You said Graham
I
Central
said
Station.
what? Oh no, well they were too. Graham Central Station was the same thing.
Okay.
And the thing about Sly and Family Stone and Graham Central Station did the same thing was they include the harmonies along with this. As a band, they include the harmonies. And we're going to get some other groups that do the same thing too along this. But they had some great harmonies and, Cynthia would all have, Larry Graham with the bass and it
What
would
was
all
your
come in.
favorite Sly and the Family Stone song?
If you want me to stay.
If you want me to say, I like
If you want me to stay.
hmm,
If you want me to stay,
I
I'll be
didn't sing
around
your
today.
favorite Sly and the Family.
Be
I just asked you what it was.
so. So on
So
that
I
note,
like.
on Slide of Family
Hey,
Stone,
let's frame it this way. Do you know what the Tiny Desk series is?
yes,
Yes, NPR's. So
I love Tiny Desk.
if Sly and the Family Stone could perform one song at a Tiny Desk concert, what would it be? I guess for any of these bands, we could probably say the same thing.
Actually, I love If You Want Me to Stay,
Sing a
but
song.
I think if they could do any song, even though Cynthia passed away, they and a couple of them, all other ones passed away. I think they could do Dance to Music
Oh,
or Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself.
oh, iconic. Thank you for letting me be. Yeah, I I was watching somebody put together like a TikTok of all these rappers who did the Teeny Death series. But I'm you know what, Kenny? I'm a geek too in my own way. And one of the groups that I follow on Facebook is, well, several. I follow several Tina Marie fan groups because that's just what I geek out about. And anyway, that I posed that question to one of the groups. I said, "Hey, what one song would you like to hear Lady T perform if she did a Tiny Desk concert?" And people were just, yeah, people were just, you know, I think it's gotten almost 100 replies of people, weighing in. Lisa's saying she just watched Maxwell and the Tiny Desk. You know what?
Yes.
That's so
You know
funny.
what's good? You know
That's
who did a good
why I was
Tiny
thinking
Desk?
about it because I saw that one as well.
You know who did a really good Tiny Desk? Tank and the Bangers.
I don't know Tank and the Bangers.
Well, they're a great group. Tank and the Bangers, they did a really good Tiny Desk, and Lizzo did a good Tiny Desk.
Oh,
Next on our list,
of course.
in the
Every,
same vein of Sly and Family Stone, one of my favorite bands, and I didn't want to be biased and put this at the top because you would say, "Oh yeah, he would definitely put this at the top."
well, you
But
said they're
Prince
not
and the
ranked.
Revolution, huh?
You said that
They're
they're
not
not
ranked.
ranked. Okay.
They're not ranked. But if I had to put somebody number one, it'd be this band, Prince and the Revolution. Now Prince had a lot of different bands, and I like all the songs that all the bands did. But Prince and Revolution was kind of the revolution. It was revolutionary. And the way they did it, they did kind of take the formula of Sly and the Family Stone.
Say that, did you?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah,
They did take the
I just
formula of
saw
Sly and
one.
the Family
Yeah.
Stone, making it multiracial, multicultural, with women and men, and women singing certain parts and men singing certain parts. They did do all that, especially with 1999. But this is a group the Purple
Yeah.
Rain album itself, along with you know the Parade album, Around the World Day, like all these, and Sign of the Times, all iconic albums done
Wasn't
by Prince in the Revolution.
was Sign of the Times? Wasn't that with the New Power Generation?
Oh,
Or
you know what? Sign of the Times, I think, was just Prince
was just
and his
like
band. He didn't have a
right? The
name. And
Revolution
then
kind of
after
disbanded by
that, they
then.
became New Power Generation.
Okay,
I
yeah,
wanted to put New Power Generation, but I said Prince of Revolution is more well known and more,
more iconic.
nobody really knows
Doctor.
Revolution.
Oh yeah, and of course Wendy and Lisa. You know, uh, I can nerd out about them all day too. You know what? Maybe I should create a Wendy. Well, there already is a Wendy and Lisa Facebook page that they manage and they do, but I need to create a fan
It
base.
probably is. Probably is.
Huh? They are awesome.
It probably is.
They actually just posted pictures from the Prince house or the Airbnb. It's not necessarily Prince's house, but it is a Airbnb in Minneapolis that is heavily influenced by the movie and has a lot of Prince like memorabilia and different things. And I think they recently stayed the night in there. I think Questlove stayed there and took some pictures and different things.
I,
And
I, I think my next year, this year is going to be Vegas. My next year trip is going to be Paisley Park.
do they do tours of Paisley Park?
Yeah, they do. They do tours of Paisley Park.
Okay, because it
Never
seems
been.
a lot to kind of pay to go to Minneapolis. Go to Paisley Park, and I'm sure maybe you could spend half a day, maybe a whole day there tops. But then, what else do you do?
Why you always take the fun out of everything, man? What's wrong with you? Who hurt
What?
you? Who hurt you? Damn.
All right,
I'm moving on to the list. Next
we
on the
got
list is
to get to.
now I'll put Kiss on the list. They did it with the makeup and they did it without the makeup. Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Ace Feely, and Peter Criss formed Kiss, and they put on the makeup. I think the best um, the best definition you can give of Kiss is from the movie Role Models, where the guy is telling a young boy about Kiss, and these guys, they put on makeup and they get cool, and all they do is bang chicks, but still, Kiss was that group, and they put on that makeup and they did something totally different. Yeah, there was some people putting on certain makeups because I think David Bowie already did Ziggy Stardust with the makeup and everything. But these are four guys out of nowhere, and when they came out, I remember when they came out, they were big. They were big, big, and they came out in the '70s, and it was kind of like a shock rock thing that they did. They
When
had
you
the fire going and all this other kind of stuff. They had fire going out of their guitars and everything. So it was a shock rock thing, and Kiss became. They did some TV shows and movies and television movies and things. So um, it was pretty good. And then the television movie was pretty good because they were up there beating everybody up and kicking butt. It was nice.
okay.
It was nice. Next is a legendary band, Queen.
Ah, Freddie Mercury. He had a great voice. I mean,
Freddie Mercury had a wonderful voice, and I think the movie that they did, um, what was the name of the movie? Bohemian Rhapsody.
hmm
Um,
Remy
that
Malek.
was, I saw that movie in the theater. That was a good movie. I would like we all knew Freddie Mercury was gay. That wasn't, and that movie kind of based it on that. There was some scenes where they showed how they made Bohemian Rhapsody, where they showed how they came up with Another One Bites the Dust and why they came up with Another One Bites the Dust, and how some members didn't want to do Another One Bites the Dust because they thought it took away from their sound. They showed how they came up with We Will Rock You, and this was the most interesting part of the movie for me. I didn't really, yeah, we care a little bit about Freddie Mercury's life because Freddie Mercury was iconic. However, I think the bigger story there was how the members of Queen and Freddie Mercury and all Queen, how they came up with things and how they came up with all the beats, how they came up with stuff. And they were formed in 1970 by Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon. And they were just a one. They the way they, if you watch the movie, it explains that the way they did things, they purposely went out to be different on every album. Because if you think about it, Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't sound like Another One Bites the Dust. Doesn't sound like We Will Rock You. Doesn't sound like A Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Doesn't sound like We Are the Champions. Doesn't sound like.
And you know
So
what?
the whole thing was trying to do different.
I just noticed, in looking at the list, I just glanced down at the list. It looks like you added some not at the end, because I see a couple more
I
in here
did.
that weren't on here,
I'm sorry.
that weren't
I'm
on here
sorry. My bad.
today when I did the overlays, when I asked you for the
Not
list.
my bad. I was
Okay.
talking to George this afternoon, and I got told that my list was less and needed more. But anyway, the next group is Climax. And the
Oh,
reason I put Climax on the list,
yeah, you got to explain this to me because I didn't get it. And I
okay,
thought they
Climax
were older,
list. How many female R&B bands do you know?
like bands, R&B bands, probably none. But
Female, all female. That's why they made the list.
but I, to me, I don't, and don't get me wrong, as a black female, I can appreciate it. But if we're talking best bands, to me, they're unique, yeah.
I,
But
I, I put
yeah,
they're unique, and I put them on the list because do you realize how many and they came out in when the 80s? Um, do you realize how many
but do you realize
young black
the name of
women?
the episode was best bands?
I put them as the best band because this is why I did it. I put them as the best band. They
Five,
were they were formed in 1985. I put them as the best band because I know for a fact that these five black women playing instruments inspired more black women to play instruments and think that they can do what they do.
I
They
can't.
can't. You don't have to be just a singer. You don't have to be the Supremes. You don't have to be the Pointer Sisters at this time. You don't have to be like that. You can be. You can play an instrument and sing. You don't have to be there just to hold the tambourine. And I'm pretty sure these women inspired a lot of young black women to do what they wanted to do. That's why they made this list.
So the list isn't most inspirational bands or most unique bands. It's the best. And they might have been good, but I don't know whether they will qualify as best. That's all I'm saying.
Who hurt, who hurt you? Who hurt you? That's all. I want to know who hurt you, man. Why? What is wrong? What is wrong with you? Who hurt you? I don't understand. Okay, move right along. Jesus Christmas. Move right along. We got the Rolling Stones.
Mm.
You saying to the Rolling Stones?
No, no. I, I had taken another bite of my dinner. I know I shouldn't be eating during the stream, but I was kind of hungry and it's getting late. And even though the clocks went back, I'm still like, my body thinks it's like 10 o'clock at night almost. And I'm all confused, but I'm still hungry. And I'm sorry. So I was
So
having,
we got the Rolling Stones. We have the Rolling Stones here.
all right,
Um, you know, they were very influential. They're one of the best bands. Their band is
now
still
this is the best
playing this
band. I can go with this.
Huh?
I said,
Okay.
I
What's
can
your
go with
favorite Rolling
Rolling
Stones
Stones
song?
on the best band list.
What is your favorite Rolling Stones song?
Um, Miss You.
Mine too.
And maybe
My,
that was
but
because, you know
start
why?
me up a story.
You know why?
Why?
Probably because back when it came out, it was played like on R&B radio, which is what we kind of grew up
Yeah, it
on.
was.
So it might have been my introduction to the Rolling Stones. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that is. Although
There's so many different songs they have though.
I do like Beast of Burden as well. I got to say that.
Beast of Burden, you can't always get what you want. I'm just waiting for a friend.
Mm.
I like that one. That's kind of cool though. I'm just waiting on a friend.
Okay, so Lisa understands because she's having her turkey burger. I'm
Yeah,
having like a
I
beef
ate
burger.
already.
I
I
have
ate.
some veggie burgers in the refrigerator,
You
but
used to get on me all the time for eating during the podcast, and I ate before the podcast, and here you are. So anyway, next on our list is Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
woo! All right, now you're talking my language. Now you're talking. Yeah,
Bruce Springsteen Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band made this list because this is one of those bar bands.
because you live in Jersey.
Yeah, well, that too, and Bruce Springsteen, along with the next one that I put on this list, they both helped me get like women's attention when I lived in California back in the day. Because I used to tell women since I was from Jersey and the East Coast, they said, "Oh, you're from with Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen." I said, "Yeah, we run them guys all the time at the club."
Lies, lies, lies.
Lies, lies, lies.
Favorite
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not
favorite.
proud of myself.
What's your favorite Bruce Springsteen song?
Cover me.
Cover Me. Mine is
Cover me.
Jersey Girl, obviously.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? From when I was a DJ,
I was to say, and that's why I liked it because I discovered it when I was a DJ. But again, I was a DJ in South Jersey. How could you not
yeah,
have
yeah.
Jersey as a part
I
of
mean, when I was a DJ, you always had to play that,
yeah,
and I just,
and it made
it's
you
you know what? I'd rather do something corny like Friends in Low Places. I don't want to play Jersey Girl.
now,
Yeah,
Kenny. I know. You hate Howard Stern, but if I can, because and I thought I gave you my serious password, I can send it to you again because I have like a Walker family one you can use. But uh, last week he interviewed Bruce Springsteen with the E Street Band. They played over 13 different songs in the studio. It was amazing. And the week before,
Really?
he actually sat down for an hour and talked with Kamala Harris. So just some really
Fun
good.
fact: Springsteen.
Mhm,
Bruce Springsteen is really good friends with Barack Obama. They got like a bromance. They're really cool with each other.
mhm.
They hang out and stuff. And next we'll stay in Jersey
Of
with
course,
Bon Jovi.
got to stay in Jersey.
We'll stay in Jersey with Bon Jovi. Now, Bon Jovi is I
Picture
could
must
have
have
picked
been like one of their first publicity pictures because
I
this
could
was
I could I could have
total
picked one
80s.
of I could pick one of the other hair bands because there's a lot of hair bands back then, and Bon Jovi was like not as flamboyant as the other hair bands or the rock bands at the time. But that one album, that first album that they had, they were
Slippery.
all formed in they formed Bon Jovi. John Bon Jovi formed Bon Jovi in 1983. Um, but I mean,
Well,
here's the thing.
he had
Here-
a solo hit, and I think to build momentum, like Runaway, I think it was called. Anyway, but to build momentum, I think he did wind up forming this band. But
yes.
the best song, in my opinion, Bon Jovi song is "Want It Dead or Alive."
Oh yeah. And the live version with Ricky Sambora is awesome, even though he's not with the group anymore. And the thing about it is Slippery and Wet came out in 1986. And when Slippery and Wet came out, that had all like it was who was my I have a friend who's a deep R&B guy, and
Hmm.
he surprised me by saying, "Yeah, you ain't got the Bon Jovi album, man. Everything on his hit, and like everything on it is a hit, man. Every song he was like really passionate about it." And I'm like, damn, it's okay for brothers to be in the Bon Jovi. Okay, I was with it all along, but I was trying to keep a low profile, you know. So yeah, and you
That's
know,
hard. Okay.
and also too, John Bon Jovi himself has the restaurant up in North Jersey where he tries to feed people and help people out. If you don't have any money and stuff like that, and also he just last month we reported how he helped talk someone from committing suicide. So not only is the band good, the guy seems like a good guy altogether.
Mm, mhm.
Next on the list, I added on was the Go Go's.
You added the Go Go's, so I didn't have
I
anything.
added the Go Go's. The reason I added the Go Go's is the same reason I have Climax on there, because now young women can say, I don't have to sit there and just hold the tambourine. I can pick up a bass. I can pick up a guitar. I can pick up the drums. I can do all that. I can do
But
that.
again, not the best, because now you're into like a novelty kind of thing. I'm not hating, because it seems like, oh, I'm a woman, I should want women bands on here, but it wasn't. The topic wasn't diverse bands. It was best. So I need some musicians. I need some songs that really resonate. That what? To me, you can't be on this list unless somebody has at least covered some of your songs. If your songs ain't been covered, maybe you're not the best. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know
Make me
who hurt you.
make me change.
I don't know who hurt you.
Hurt people, hurt people. I'm not trying to hurt anyone, but I'm saying if we're talking about the best, we can't just throw anybody on there just because they're a band. You know what I mean? So if you're rocking with us now, listening to the show, put down in the comments your best band. Lisa had said hers was Frankie Beverly and Maze, which didn't make this list at all. So I'm trying to look for
It
her.
almost did. It almost did. It almost did.
Yeah.
Next on this we have Fleetwood Mac is another one that I added on.
I know. Like, and had that been on, I would have had a visual for it because I love Fleetwood
I'm sorry, my bad, my bad.
and again,
And I
one of
only added this because
classic albums.
George says to me, "You don't have Fleetwood Mac on here." I said, "You know what? One of my closest friends that big, and I should have this on here, but I put it on there because he goes. She starts playing tracks for me. He goes, Rumors alone is nothing but hits. And
Exactly.
the thing about Rumors is, he's like, the thing about Rumors is, it's a whole album of them dissing each other.
Yeah.
It's the whole album of them telling their feelings about each other. And he's like, imagine how badass Stevie Nicks is to write a song about Lindsey Buckingham and make her play guitar for it. There's a meme about that. And you got to think about it, it's like,
But she is badass.
yeah, yeah,
E-
yeah.
Edge Edge of 17 is just the bomb. But that wasn't Fleetwood Mac necessarily. Rumors as an album is fantastic. Dreams. And it took me years to find out what the name of that song was before actually had, and I think I might have had the album, but I didn't realize because I always called it Thunder because that was the line I knew from the song. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Lovers only love you when they're playing. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll go off in that.
The top
I
singles,
didn't,
Go Your Way,
I didn't,
Dreams, Don't Stop, and You Make Love and Fun were some of the top singles
make
off
loving.
of that album. Next, we have the Beatles.
Now you're talking. And this band tops everybody's kind of best band, favorite band of all time list. And I think it's because of their catalog, because it's just so massive and people have resonated with their songs. So, but what do you have on the Beatles?
The Beatles formed in 1960 in Liverpool. And of course, George Harrison, um, 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 uh, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr were all part of the Beatles. And surprisingly, Billy Preston was considered like the fifth Beatle because he would play with them sometimes, and he's in one of the documentaries about them all playing like their last album, recording together. And one of the main reasons the Beatles is on this list is because of the songwriting.
Mm,
And the Beatles is a band that has been covered.
yeah.
Not famous, but one of my bands covered the Beatles. But still,
That's about
we
every.
did come together.
Um,
So,
like
but the
if
Beatles,
if you strip this list down, we probably would only have like about five bands that are really best if you think about it. And again, those are the folks who have been, their songs have been covered, and yeah, just, and I think also
with the
too,
next
they
band,
appeal to a wide variety of people. Not just one. Even though they might be in a genre, funk or pop or rock, but they have an appeal that transcends genres. Like there are a lot of rappers who actually really do love Metallica and
yeah,
and appreciate their music, like even rap over tracks. So again, I think the range or the um uh I don't know, the longevity of your music is something to be said for that. That's all I'm saying. And the Beatles have that. Yeah.
yeah. And the next band I put on this list is not very famous band, not a very popular band. I put Switch on this list. And the reason I put Switch on this list is the name of the band, and I know a lot of people probably seen the documentary on them. The name of the band was Switch, and the name
Oh
of the
wait,
band
there
was
was a
Switch because
documentary on them?
yeah, it's like one of those VH1 things on them, I think, behind the music things on them,
Oh,
or
oh,
was it
they did a
BT
behind
thing on them?
they did a behind the music on Switch?
I think it was either Switch or was it a BT thing that they did on Switch. But
Okay.
anyway, I
I
forget.
gotta
I
look
gotta
at
find out. But
sorry, I gotta
yeah,
unlike
look
you,
it up now. Look it
unlike
up now.
you, but unlike you, when there's something I haven't seen, I will make a note and I'll actually go back and do my
Wow, wow, really? Is that is that how we're doing this? Okay. Well,
because I
Switch
know
the name.
there was a documentary or the behind the music, like the Barge was the first one on the BET series. They're behind.
That's it was on the BT series. I think Switch is on the BT series.
Okay.
But the reason they were called Switch
Oh yeah,
is
I knew that.
because each member can play different instruments, and they can switch up on the instruments and play different instruments. So when the song comes, you don't know whether they're singing or playing or whatever, because everybody sang and everybody played. And I'm a man.
I'm a
I'm a
man,
grown man.
grown man.
I
They're
come a
all,
long way.
and again, you had that just like classic DeBarge falsetto because the two
Yes.
older brothers of the younger siblings who became DeBarge that most people know for Heat of the Night were actually members of Switch. There was another guy, I think James Ingram's brother was also a member of
Yes.
Switch.
Yes.
And
Bobby DeBarge, Tommy DeBarge.
was Greg
Um,
Fillinganes was in Switch, or was it his brother Fillinganes?
no, it was Philip Ingram was in Switch.
Okay, and
Um,
James Ingram's brother.
yeah, Bobby and Tommy DeBarge were
Right.
in it, and James Ingram's brother. You could tell which one's James. The one in the guy in the white jacket with the red that looks like James Ingram. You know that's his brother.
That's his brother.
So you know, but that was Switch, and I think they're a band. They were a good band, and they were probably one of the best put together bands and musically, and I think they belonged on this list. We're coming up to the end of our list, and now we have Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Hmm. Interesting
Now,
choice.
Bob Marley and the Wailers is a really good band, popular band. Everybody knows mostly all their songs. I've seen poets doing open mics, reciting parts of their songs. Their
So
songs have always been covered, always played.
I have to confess, Kenny, I did not know that the title of the one song was called Three Little Birds. I think everybody thinks of it with a different title, but it's actually called Three Little Birds. Woke up this morning. Okay. Anyway, I just
But Bob Marley and the Wailers, I think, are probably, people knew about reggae,
uh-huh.
and I think Bob Marley and the Wailers were responsible for making reggae like known in the
Hey, good.
general scene.
Okay. I'm gonna say good night to our cousin Lisa. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us for a little bit. All right. But Bob
And the
Marley,
last one on the list,
the last on the list. Now
the
again,
last one on the list,
they belong on this list.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Awesome. Only because their best song is about the best month. It's just how it is.
It's about what?
The best month.
Oh, September.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, well,
more people are born
that's why
in September
it rhymed.
than that.
It rhymed. That's why they did it. Come on now, let's not get carried away.
No, more people are born in September. It's a fact. It is.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
well, 9 months from New Year's, so boom, that's why.
Well, now we're in November, and November is the month of Scorpio. Get it right.
So
But Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of those bands that
epic.
everyone knows, everyone loves. I remember when I was a DJ, there's a couple of people that you could play that everybody would get up and dance to.
Mhm.
Motown, Kool and the Gang, and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Kool and the Gang didn't make the list because I had Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I kind of had to, I should have put them on the list because they just got to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But you know,
But Earth,
Earth,
Wind,
Wind, and
Fire is already there.
we only had an hour, man, and we went over it anyway. So that's my fault. I
Earth, Wind,
can't. I
Fire.
should have did best
I
rock band. I should have did what Matt told me to do. Do it in a series. Best rock bands, best R&B bands, best, and I could have, that's best girl bands and
novelty.
novelty. And that's what I should have did, but I didn't. So sue me, okay?
uh, Earth, Wind, and Fire. All the elements. One of the
It's
best.
the reasons
Although,
that we're here.
although when you talked about Earth, Wind, and Fire, Cool and the Gang, but also if you're doing a black function and you don't play no Frankie Beverly and Maze, you might get hit.
Yeah,
Somebody might hurt you.
yeah,
Just saying.
yeah. The DJ might get a hit. DJ. You have DJ and a barbecue.
That's
Don't play
wedding,
Frankie Beverly and Maze.
and we don't hear no Frankie Beverly and Maze. That's like
Yeah,
going to Burger King and they don't have no more Whoppers. That's like yeah, that
that's like going Kentucky Fried. There ain't no chicken.
ain't no chicken. Exactly. You do not do that. Oh my goodness. Kitty,
So
wraps up our list, our show. We are Pop Culture Kids coming to you from the North and South, North Carolina and South Jersey. Thank you so much for hanging with us. We are here every Sunday night. And if I could just remind you that you can also catch us on Who's Got Next Radio, as well as our podcast version. And always, you can find more information about us and our show on our webpage, kathyandkenny.com. Yeah, we still have that domain. So you can check us out there, sign up for that newsletter, or actually, we haven't really newslettered, so we won't spam you at all. But if you could give us an email, we'd love it. If you are watching us on YouTube, if you can give us a thumbs up. If you're watching us on the Facebooks, we appreciate it. But please take a minute and find us on YouTube so you can subscribe to the channel and follow along. Next week,
yes, please.
we are talking about.
Actors who became directors.
All right, actors turned directors.
Actors
We
turned directors. Next
will
week's
see
show.
you next week here on, say, 8 o'clock Sunday nights. Kathy and Kenny.
Pop Culture Kids.
Culture
God
Kids.
bless your soul and keep living. Peace.
Peace.
Kathy and Kenny here to say, pop culture fun in every way. Music, TV, movies.
Thank you for
also
geeking out
right.
with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.